How's it going, folks? It's your boy back at ya with a new vid. Interesting little Friday we had here. We got a little bit of a dump, a little tiny bit of a dump. Nothing too crazy, nothing that got out of hand, and we actually got a bounce at the end of the day. So, like I said in my last video, I know I missed yesterday, but in my video before yesterday, Wednesday, I said you cannot get bearish until we see SPY under 390. And the Nasdaq under at least 300. And where did we get support on the Nasdaq? Look at that wick. I mean, really? Oh, Jesus Christ! Really? Look at that. Look at that wick right there to 301. I mean, 310 cents. Just like perfect. Hard bounce off of that. We even got like a tiny little inverse head and shoulders there in the 5-minute, but much more cleaner inverse head and shoulders on the 1-minute. And look at that shoulder, head, shoulder, beautiful. But first trade I took today, I mean, I was late to the party. I was just kind of just watching it dump because I didn't want to get bear trapped. So I saw this rejection. This would have been a very easy pickup. I regret. Well, no, actually, that is what I bought a put on. So we dump through this level. I see the rejection at this next level up here. So when you see a break, an immediate retest and then a dump off of that, it's usually a pretty easy sign. And then we get a retest at 21. That's a perfect golden goose right there. Just perfect golden goose. If I wasn't already in a put, I should have slapped on another one right there. But ended up grabbing a put right here. We just chopped around, held on to that for about 2 hours, and no, yeah, 2 hours, yeah, and sold it for a $40 profit. Nothing crazy. Could have held it a lot longer. Instead, what I did was I ended up going straight from that put into calls. Very short, only 3-day out calls. Kitty's making fucking noise. Cat, no, leave me alone. I grabbed one, so I scaled into this nicely. I was really happy with how I played. I only made like another $40 off of it, but hey, or $48. I was thrilled with the way I composed myself. So I'll show you guys what I was seeing here. So Nasdaq had a clear support, or so I thought. It did end up finding support in this zone, but not right at this level. I ended up grabbing a call right here as we were testing this 50 SMA, the simple moving average on the 50 moving average on the 30-minute chart. I grabbed one right there. I saw that we broke through. I almost stopped out. I was sitting here waiting. I'm like, all right, if we get a clean break of 300, I'm out. I'm down like 120 bucks on these. I'm fully clenched, butt cheeks, and we got a solid bounce. They ended up going up a little bit more than what I sold it at. I could have gotten like $100 profit if I was like perfect time if I sold right at the top of this candle. But we were getting like good volume. I was thinking we were going to get a little squeeze before the end of the day, which we did kind of get into close, which I did end up selling this about a minute before close for a $48 profit. But I composed myself great. I averaged down. I scaled in. That's keyword. Scaled in. I did not just buy them all at once. I ended up buying one at 10.25, another one 4 minutes later for a little bit more because I thought we might just go straight up. Scaled in. We dip a little bit. I grab one at $1.67. We dip a little bit more. I grab one at $1.60. I was setting limit orders. I wasn't just buying them at the time, like FOMOing into them. I was like, all right, if it comes down to this level, I'll buy another one. So if we did get more of a bounce, I would have seen some more. And Theta did sort of hurt the value of these because I held on to them for 2 hours. So Theta is definitely a factor when you're holding 3-day out contracts for a couple hours at a time. But it was a nice play that end off the week. I was happy with it. I was just really happy that I saw this bounce coming, and even though it wasn't huge, and I thought it would be right off this red line, and so we tested this fib. And this fib I have is just from let me show you on this one. So this fib I have is just from the top of this range, from the tippy top up here, down to the bottom there. No. Alright, yeah. Oh, look at that. And look at right where it bounced. I mean, really, right off of that fib, just perfectly. So, and that fib just so happens to be right at 300 on the Nasdaq, but basically 11 7650, 11,765. You know, fucking saying. It's on the actual Nasdaq Composite like index, not the Nasdaq. That was nice. SPY ended up doing this. So I could have just done SPY, but I saw it was clear on the Nasdaq. I thought it was a better bounce level on the Nasdaq because I did have confirmation with that fib level. SPY almost tested that level, but didn't quite get down there. But also had the same thing. Look at that support at that 30. So that was a super bullish candle that we closed on. We got a hanging man candle. That was fantastic. Big long wick down, huge bullish buying at the end of the day. So I think that was a big bear trap that we had today. This rally ain't over. The reason I didn't like go crazy on puts is because we're still in bullish territory, and I say that because we are still in an area where we can launch off of. We have not gotten a rejection of this level that we're in. We still are within bouncing, if that makes any sense. That's why I'm not going to get bearish unless we at least get below 3,900. Otherwise, I will wait and see because I still believe that overall SPY will. I think we'll definitely see at least 4,200 out of this rally. It's gonna be like just back in March. Same thing happened back in March. What happened? We got this big rally. We get up to this last consolidation, break that, trap a bunch of bulls, and then dumped off of that. And the reason for the dump today was basically Snapchat's terrible earnings. I was not really. I don't know. I wasn't really convinced, I guess, because it just Snapchat. Like, why is the entire market dumping off of just stupid Snapchat? Even though Snapchat did have miserable, miserable earnings, I do not understand why Snapchat is in control of stocks like Meta. Well, I get it with Meta, social networking, but like Google, like really? Google dumps 6% off of terrible Snapchat earnings. Like, obviously, Google is a much. It's like. It's just very annoying. And it always sucks because Snapchat always is the first of most of these, like, companies to ad revenue companies to report their earnings. So it always starts off on a terrible foot. But I knew Snapchat was having earnings. I almost grabbed puts. I didn't. I know. Sucks. You get FOMO. But the reason I didn't was because I looked back and I saw what happened last earnings, or not the last earnings, but the earnings before last. Last earnings nothing really happened, but it was news that this earnings might be terrible. So I thought, hey, it already priced in terrible earnings. Snapchat, that news came out where that CEO was like, our earnings are gonna suck pretty bad, and it already dropped like 35% off of that. So I was like, all right, those the bad earnings are already priced in. How much more could it dump? Apparently another 40%. So yeah, that sucks. Snapchat is it's a dead ass stock, dude. I mean, look at that selling. Everyone is just fucking out of that thing. Just get me out of Snapchat. Just terrible. And now it's almost approaching the lows it reached in COVID. Just another dead COVID stock. Was that $83 at one point, dude? That's so crazy. Oh my gosh, bro. Just terrible. I love looking back. There's always a head and shoulders at the top of all of these terrible tech stocks. Look at that head, shoulder, shoulder, dump. Man, it seems like it dumps off every earnings, but then this one it had a crazy short squeeze off of this earnings, so I was like, fucking, I don't know, man. It just feels like gambling. I'm not interested in gambling. I don't need to gamble. Gambling doesn't give you doesn't teach you good lessons. It doesn't set good values, I guess, because you're like, duh, hey, I made so much off that one earnings, I'll try it again. And you give more than you gain back, and I'm just not interested. I can make money otherwise. So, Micron. Micron, since I was short on the S&P, I wasn't really interested in just shorting individual stocks. But semiconductors had just a terrible day today, all across the board. They led the market down. Nvidia dumping 4%, AMD 3.5. Qualcomm actually held up pretty good, but TSM, look at TSM, man. It's bouncing off right where I said it would. And now we got to break out of that falling wedge. TSM looks like it wants some downside. Uh, yeah, it really looks like it wants to come down a little bit. So it did break out of that falling sort of wedge it's had, or not even falling wedge, just a channel, I guess. Kinda a little bit. Redraw this. Yeah, but now it's back under it. So, it's not looking good. And just Chinese stocks in general. Not that Taiwan is Chinese stocks. I know the difference, but Chinese stocks in general just had terrible. Just Neo down 7%, Bob almost barely just by a fucking just a cunt hair away from breaking and closing under 100. But it held 100. Um, I don't know. These Chinese stocks are just they get good news and they rally. They get bad news and everyone sells. It just I'm not interested. I don't know. It's like fundamentals are just out the window with Chinese stocks. They're so all over the place. But all in all, I had 2 trades for 2 wins. I'm bullish on SPY. I think today was a big bear trap. I think SPY will continue to go up for the very short term, at least until FOMC meetings slash Apple earnings slash Amazon earnings slash all the big earnings coming up. So I think we get some crazy movement from SPY over the next couple of trading sessions. I am swinging a smaller call over the because we still have some of this gap to fill too. That's also my conviction here. I think we have to fill this gap before we come back down on SPY, at least before 162. So I'm holding a call over the weekend. I still got my fucking Nasdaq puts, but those things they're almost dead, man. That's so depressing. I did not buy enough time on those. They only have 28 days left, and they're just getting destroyed by Theta. So unless the entire market rug pulls, I don't think those are gonna be worth a whole lot. But I got my Apple call or Apple put. It's still holding strong. I'm down like 20% on it. I'll probably average down to another one, but I'm looking at trying to get out of Nvidia during this rally. I regret not getting out yesterday. Of course, it dropped 4%. It's $320. Bye. But for the 2 trades I took, I was up $88. So solid green day. Wish I took profits earlier on the Nasdaq. I saw it. I was like, this is gonna squeeze so hard during power hour, but it just wasn't there. Fridays, summers in Friday are just too low volume, just not enough action, and it was looking so good until Bears stepped up right here and just slapped it down. They were like, no, 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 no big rally in the close. We're gonna keep this controlled. So yeah, that's the end of the week, man. See what happens next week. Snapchat with terrible earnings was the reason for red today. That's basically all I can say. I don't know. I mean, other than all the obvious reasons, but I'm just following the price action. I mean, I don't care. I think the market should be coming down every single day. I think if we have 9% inflation, we have a Fed funds rate of what is that now? 2.25. So we're supposed to have interest rates at least near the inflation number. So you do the math. Are we supposed to be going up like another 6 to 7 interest rate points? I don't know. I mean, this is just the obvious dead cat, like no reason bounce, just relief, just to give the Bears more time to short. And it's like, hey, we forgot about the Fed. They're still the most aggressive Fed in like decades. Uh, Guess not. It doesn't matter. We're going up. Recession's canceled. We got better earnings than expected. So that's the market we're in today. So yeah, that's everyone have a good old weekend. That's it for me, boss. See ya.